So Jake Tran is killing his YouTube channel, and we discussed how he's been doing this in our video here, but today we're talking about 3 creators who followed Jake's formula for success and didn't cash their chips in at the casino too quickly, starting with SunnyV2. Now the funny thing is, even someone as big as SunnyV2, who's outgrown many creators in this niche, has the exact same rise story as Jake Tran. He started out making videos on a gaming channel called Might of Sun, uploading RuneScape videos, eventually pivoting to making Fortnite videos when the game was exploding in popularity in 2017. But with no traction after consistently uploading for 6 months, he quit uploading to this channel. Fast forward 2 years later, and Sunny makes the channel we all know and love today, SunnyV2. He starts out with in real life content, basically vlogging and doing day in the lives, which again weren't getting attention. Then he pivots to making commentary videos, talking about the downfall of different creators like Boogie2988. This did wonders for the channel, and Sunny was like a rocket ship with explosive growth in views and subs. Sound familiar? Well, Jake did something similar when he started out, making videos back in the day as a teenager, making a couple $100 every few months before quitting because it wasn't going anywhere, and then starting again by copying Graham Stephen to find his footing in the meantime. Then he found the video essay documentary niche, which led to explosive growth for him as well. Now this explosive growth for SunnyV2 was the result of him finding his blue ocean, a concept that involves finding your own niche to create a monopoly over, leading to longevity in your business, or in this case, YouTube channel. In Sunny's case, this was putting a pop culture spin on Jake's niche, covering trendy topics in terms of online culture. And by doing this, appeal to the masses, which is exactly what he did and is doing, pulling in more than 1 million views per video. He also created the iconic and very appealing animated thumbnail design we all recognize today, which he consistently uses every single time. He innovated, and like everyone who innovates, they amass many admirers who also run quite successful channels like Tell Us More. In Jake's case, we know his blue ocean was merging the infotainment and business and finance niche together to create his style of video essays, which many now imitate. The issue is, when you find a blue ocean, it eventually turns into a red ocean with competitors popping up out of nowhere. Of course, if you're first to the party, you can still be the sole whale of that niche, but complacency and irreparable mistakes are what turn you into a fossil left at the bottom of the seabed while someone else takes over. In Jake's case, his mistake was taking shady sponsors, and whilst I agree that some were reasonable, some of them, like his NFT ads, were outright pump and dump schemes, and this is where SunnyV2 perfected Jake's formula by taking 0 sponsors to date on the channel, focusing on perfecting his brand's image and ensuring he remains a whale in his ocean. This is similar to Johnny Harris, who also used Jake's formula to create a YouTube channel with nearly 4 million subscribers, consistently garnering over 1 million views a video. Johnny's origin began making random YouTube videos centered around himself and his own life, like his origin story titled How I Got Started in Video, and showing people how he got his job working for Vox, something that would later be pivotal in creating his blue ocean. Surprisingly, he didn't do any videos on his experience as an Emmy-winning independent journalist and contributor to the New York Times, but that's another pivotal factor in Johnny's success. Nevertheless, he later pivoted to making videos here and there on random yet intriguing topics, like how the Dutch beat the ocean, or why Britain is the center of the world. And it's these videos in particular that were picking up steam and gaining traction, garnering mass attention. He continued these alongside the videos he was currently making, like many creators do, afraid to take a leap into a risky area of content creation. This was new to Johnny, and he arguably wanted more proof of concept, which he got with his personalized videos like The Biggest Project of My Life not doing nearly as insane numbers. After noticing a trend, Johnny jumped headfirst into his blue ocean that he discovered, which was high quality documentary style videos mixed with in real life clips to humanize the content more. As Johnny had worked in video and produced his own series for Vox called Borders, he had already built up a solid foundation of understanding that was pivotal to establishing a monopoly. Most channels can be replicated, and even with high quality editing and high quality thumbnails, it's very hard to establish yourself and your brand as something truly unique and that can't be imitated. Johnny did just that, mixing his experience as a filmmaker and producer with creating video ideas and a documentary format to each video. He combined storytelling with an aspect of journalism, but it's his ability to tell engaging stories and simplify concepts to fit a video perfectly that is truly what sets him apart.
There's a weapon that powerful countries use to get rid of leaders they don't like, leaders from other countries. It's called a coup. It's a French word that means a punch or a blow, because it kind of means coming in and forcibly punching out a government from power. No elections, no process, just power being seized.
As for how Johnny monetizes this ocean of content, he features sponsors on the channel, but unlike Jake Tran, he only uses credible companies like BetterHelp, an online therapy provider, and NordVPN, who are infamous for sponsoring all types of content. Don't get me wrong though, Johnny has had some controversy in the way of sponsors, the most notable one being established titles, and we covered another creator who received backlash for that in this video here, so check that out after. For the most part though, reliable and trustworthy sponsors have been featured on the channel alongside Johnny's Patreon, where he gives away behind the scenes content into how his videos are made and what material is used in them. That then leaves us only with the most underrated of these three growing channels, Magnates Media. This channel started out very different to what it is today, not posting anywhere near the insanely high quality mini business movies it does today. In fact, the channel started out as Young Magnates, with the guy behind it, John, creating a bunch of content in the business niche but unrelated at the same time.
But let's instead pretend that what you're really wondering is, John, where have you been? We've missed you. And the answer is that I've been completing my business degree. And when I focus on something, it tends to be that I devote all my efforts into that.
Sometimes he'd make a video on should you work as hard as Gary Vee or should you party, and other times a Jeff Bezos masterclass in creating loyal customers. It wasn't until 2 years later, on November 22nd, that John would create a video that resembles the one we see today. It was called Everything is a Lie, including this video, and it amassed over 1.2 million views, and you'd think that he would stick with this success and try to replicate this content, but nope. Like Jake Tran and Sunny and even Johnny Harris, Magnates Media didn't immediately jump on the bright new concept that had done incredible numbers. Instead, he'd go on to upload a few more random videos like how to become limitless and achieve anything, and literal billionaires sharing their wisdom. Needless to say, these didn't do the numbers his previous videos had done, and so Magnates pivoted, pumping out more of these high quality movie-mentries, as I like to call them, raising the bar every time with insane editing and storytelling. And so we fast forward to today. Magnates Media makes insanely high quality business documentaries that are yet to be challenged by any creator because they are that good. And this is where you could argue two things. Some could say he operates in a red ocean but is so incredibly good at what he does that the channel is a whale and it's a red ocean he dominates. Others might say this space in itself is a blue ocean, considering there's no other channel that creates business movies like this one to the same standard. Arguably speaking here, Jake Tran easily could have competed since he had first mover's advantage, but we know how that went. Regardless of what ocean you think John's channel operates in, he clearly has aspects to it that other creators don't, most notably that his videos are evergreen topics. He picks them very carefully, and clearly a topic like Coca-Cola's rise or the story of the Silk Road are both evergreen pieces of content, meaning they never run out of relevance. You could watch them 2 years later and still watch them with no issues, which can't be said for many videos these days. This video in itself that you're watching is more on the trend side than evergreen, because these creators will not be relevant forever, so alongside not chasing trends, John also competes on length, as most of his competitors will stop at 20 minutes in length, whereas Magnates Media has videos that are longer than 1 hour and perform incredibly well. His ability to keep the viewer hooked at all moments through storytelling is incredible. As for sponsors, John takes innocent companies like Shopify and ShipStation, and more recently his 10-cent documentary featured a wrinkle combating company, so there's no room for controversy there, just filling up ad space that most viewers will skip through anyway. He also provides courses teaching people to do what he did, as well as consulting and coaching one-on-one with John himself. Frankly, I think these are fine too, considering he's not teaching people how to get rich, rather it's how to build a brand and YouTube channel like he has with millions of people watching. Of course, the same can't be said for Jake, who literally added an affiliate program into his course after criticizing Andrew Tate for his same thing. If we're to take anything from these 4 almost identical and sequenced stories, it's that Jake Tran had the potential to be the biggest YouTuber in this niche, and perhaps could have went as mainstream as Sunny if he wanted to. He could have averaged 1 million views a video, and yet thanks to a series of mistakes and terrible decisions, he's averaging significantly fewer viewers than he was before. For the size of his channel, actually his numbers are quite mediocre. Some would argue outsourcing was the issue, as that destroyed the quality of his work. Some would say the questionable ads, and I think everyone agrees that voice actor was horrendous. Either way, in Jake's case, rather than building a brand, he was short-sighted and cashed out, maximizing his returns right now for his future income. Researching this topic has been incredibly interesting, and I'm waiting for my copy of the Blue Ocean Strategy to arrive to plan out perfectly the trajectory of this channel. Any suggestions for other content or types of content, please do let me know in the comments down below, and be sure to check out the rest of the content we've put out. I recommend these 2 videos here.